Hey, everybody. I hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the word. And today, that word is some. Some. And in the sense that that's the sum of it. Here we are at the end of Jeremiah today, Jeremiah chapter 52. And if you really want to see a summarization of what all has happened, well, what Jeremiah said was going to happen. What, more importantly, what the Lord said was going to happen took place. Now, just a reminder, if you remember back Jeremiah chapter 27, Jeremiah is telling everyone, hey, this is what's going to happen. They're going to come in. The Chaldeans are going to come in and they're going to take everything out of the temple and then they're going to destroy everything, right? They're not going to just destroy it. They're going to loot it and steal everything first. And then they're going to destroy it utterly, right? And the people have driven out. All these things have been going on. If you remember Hananiah there in chapter 28, shortly afterwards, he says, no, that's not what's going to happen. The items that have already been taken out of the temple, he says, no, those things, they're going to be returned. Well, let's find out who was right. Jeremiah chapter 52, looking at verses 17 through 23 today. The bronze pillars that were in the house of the Lord, and the carts and the bronze sea that were in the house of the Lord, the Chaldeans broke in pieces and carried all their bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, the shovels, the trimmers, the bowls, the spoons, and all the bronze utensils with which the priests ministered. The basins, the fire pans, the bowls, the pots, the lampstands, the spoons, and the cups, whatever was solid gold, and whatever was solid silver, the captain of the guard took away. The two pillars, one sea, the 12 bronze bulls which were under it, and the carts which King Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. Now concerning the pillars, the height of one pillar was 18 cubits. A measuring line of 12 cubits could measure its circumference, and its thickness was 4 fingers. It was hollow. The capital of bronze was on it, and the height of one capital was 5 cubits, with a network and pomegranates all around the capital, all of bronze. The second pillar with pomegranates was the same. There were 96 pomegranates on the sides, and all the pomegranates all around on the network were 100. Now, you may be listening to that description and trying to imagine it, and it's kind of hard to understand exactly maybe how he was describing that network or that lattice work and the pomegranates. But if you imagine the bronze that it would have been and these pillars, as he's talking about the height, it's about 27 feet high. These pillars were. They were about 3 or 4 inches thick, and so they were hollow in the middle. But now you imagine 27 feet high, and they were anywhere between 12 and 18 foot in circumference. So for that to be hollow, and then not only just 27 feet, but on top of that, he says the capital, the part that was at the top of that, um, yeah, at the top of the pillar, that's the word I was looking for, was another like 7.5 feet on top of that with all these intricate details. And he says, as he's going through these things, I mean, even the sea that he uses there, the basin that the priests would use, and all the bronze bulls that kind of held this up, that Solomon had made. That thing alone was some 15 foot in diameter and held probably a couple hundred gallons of water. So I'm saying all this and helping you understand this information for this sheer reason alone. It wasn't easy. And it was beautiful work that was put into it. But there's not a single thing that you have here on earth that can't be taken away. See, that's something that Israel and Judah, something that the Israelite people failed to realize through all of this. What they kept relying on was, hey, that's our temple. We're God's people. And essentially, they had the attitude. I mean, if we're really just going to sum it all up, and I mean, this would just be bare bones simple. They thought, we belong to God. Nobody can touch us because we're Israelites. We can do whatever we want to do. And God simply said, no, you can't. Don't think that I won't pour out destruction even on you, my people, and even this, my temple, is what he was saying. Don't you know how long? You remember the conversations previously. Don't you know how long it's taken me to put all this together? And yet here I am destroying it because of the sinfulness of my people. Now, there's discussions to be had about the remnant and all that a remnant is always saved. But I think if we're going to look back at the book of Jeremiah and look back at all that he said, it can all be summarized right here. To think about how massively beautiful and intricate the work of that temple must have been. And oh, how it was the desire, right, of David to build and for King Solomon to be able to fulfill that dream, to see it all destroyed. And before it was even destroyed, to have it looted of everything that was in it, everything in it that was holy, everything in it that was precious to those people and precious to the Lord. It was holy, set apart for the Lord, and yet it was stolen away and destroyed. Not because the Chaldeans were more powerful than God, but because of the people of Israel and their sin. I think sometimes we as believers and Christians, we sometimes have that thought that, wait a minute, I'm a Christian. I can do whatever I want, can live however I want. That's the wrong way to look at the cross. We think about, you say, well, look, if I'm truly saved, I'm not going to lose my salvation. The same way that Israelites were truly Israelites, right? But I would ask you this. Think about the rewards you would lose in heaven if you are truly born again. What rewards you're losing in heaven. What crowns you will not be able to lay at your Savior's feet. I don't know about you, but let's not get so caught up. It's easy to do, get caught up in this materialistic world and think, well, look, God's got me here. All this, none of this can be taken away. I am telling you, there's not a thing on this earth that cannot be taken away from you, even your life itself. But only if God allows it. And if you're truly born again, remember, he says, I have you in my hand. And look, if we are in the Father's hand, there's no place I'd rather be. So if someone had to sum up your life, would it be summing up like the chapter here in Jeremiah? Or would it be summed up more like Paul could say? I finished the race. I finished my course. I fought the good fight. He wanted to enter in and hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. What will be the summary of your life? God bless you. And I pray you have a great, great day.